Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Just Being Amos podcast with my co-host. What's your name again?
Trevor.
It's Trevor.
Yep.
Trevor.
Heyo!
Okay.
Gotta get my signature in there, buddy.
I see. So in this episode, guys, we are going to talk about the fall for anime in 2024. The stuff we are very anticipating. Can't wait to watch. And I got Trevor here because he is the expert.
I am an anime expert.
Yes, he is. He's an anime expert. Me, I'm just a novice. Right?
Sure.
Let's just stick it like that.
Yeah, let's just go like that.
So we're going to start off with last season, which was the summer season, I believe, Trevor?
Yes.
Okay, so you said pick out a one that stand out from the rest. So I picked Wisteria, Sword and Wand. And that is about a boy that's in the world of magic. He does not have magic. It's your typical, shonen, he's trying to work his way up.
Yeah, everybody else has great magic and he has like none, but he's gonna be the best of the best.
Right, so we get that old, I'm the underdog kind of thing. So everybody's always talked down to him, stuff like that. And he said, you are beneath me. All that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of my picks for last season. I really enjoyed it. They are greenlit for season 2 as well. So it's fantasy. I like not dark fantasy. It's fantasy. It's like Harry Potter meets let's see, what's the action movie or action TV series? Harry Potter meets and
Die Hard.
not that series. Let's see, probably something like John Wick. Nah, not something like John Wick. Oh my,
Yeah, it's like
this is say like it's Harry
first
Potter.
quarter like murdering and with wands.
Yeah, so it's Harry Potter with action. Let's just say it like that. I can't think of a show or TV on my top of my head right now. It'll come back to me later. So what about you?
That's cool. So my pick from last season was, it's called Makan. Too Many Losing Heroines.
Right.
So what I liked about this show was that it was, you think it's going to be like your standard cliche rom-com or whatever, where, the guy attracts a harem and everything like that. But it's a little bit different than that. Basically, he's kind of the guy who ends up being a magnet, and not in like a romantic way, for a bunch of girls that get dumped. So they're they're the losing girls, the ones who get rejected. And so they just kind of all start commiserating around him. So it's a really fun series. The characters are really well done. That's what's also good. They don't feel like, your typical cookie cutter stereotypes.
I watched the second episode. Dude.
So
they're locked in a damn closet with the sporting stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like the only one that got a little bit like fan service.
Yeah, it did.
So it was that was a kind of weird one.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I love the characters, especially Anna. She's like the first girl, the one with the blue hair. She's just like,
she's a trip.
She's just like a mess. She's a little gremlin who just like loves eating. But she's great. But what's also great about the series too is that the artwork and the animation is great, and all the little details and stuff, like you can see her in the background when she's like dipping her fries, or in the first episode, or things like that. It's just and the face game is great, of course. So I really love that one. I was not expecting it to be my favorite, but it really was. So yeah, I definitely recommend that one. That was my favorite.
Okay, so that was your favorite for the summer season of 2024.
Yes.
Cool. So we're going to dig right into it. So we made a list of shows that we are so eager to watch. Some are new and some are returning seasons, right? Returning series. So I think the first one I picked out of my anticipation was Bleach. You don't watch Bleach?
I mean, not anymore. I did watch like the first 115 episodes or something like that back in the day. But yeah, then I kind of fell off of it at that point.
They had so many fillers for that show, man.
Right.
In the beginning, anyway.
Well, yeah, because they would get caught up with the manga, and then they'd have to wait for more story to be written.
Right.
So they would just create whatever, and then you got the problem where all of the new characters or new arcs that you just created don't really align with what the manga has now. So
no, it did not.
Yeah, you got to incorporate those new characters that aren't in the manga, and then so it just get kind of to be a mess.
Yeah, it was a big mess. So it's 1,000-year blood war. That's what it's called. So it picks up when the manga left off, you know, because once the series was over with the first time around, the manga was still going.
Right.
So they decided, you know what, we're going to finish our story. So they actually finishing up with the 1,000-Year Blood War, which I would say the animation is top notch, dude. It really is. They have really put the effort in making the animation sharp and crisp and everything like that. So it's really nice, man. I really enjoy the action scene, and you got people who are being portrayed. People are getting some bunkais. You know, the bunkais there. Thing is bunkai.
Yeah.
So it's like
The way you said it made it sound like it's some disease or something.
I thought I said bukkake.
Oh no, he's getting.
Ah, got you. Got you.
Wow.
Anyway.
I thought I was the dirty one. I mean, this is two videos in a row.
Okay,
You bring up the weird stuff.
So I can't wait to see that cut. It's already started already. So in this video, some of the shows that we are talking about now have already started. See episode 1 as well. So.
Right. So some of them we've already seen.
So yeah. So Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War, is part 3. It's part 3, dude, of this season. So. That came out this past Saturday, so I watched it. So far, I'm enjoying it. So, what's yours?
I guess the next one I would say is probably Danmachi. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Season 5.
So I don't have to say that because that's one of my
Right.
picks.
We do have a few that we share, so it's basically just going to kind of go down the line here. We can talk about all of them, but obviously, if you're familiar with Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, then you kind of know it's the same formula. You know, Bell is this
aspiring adventurer.
Aspiring adventurer, and he just happens to have this ability to like level up really quickly. So he like learns quickly, but he's also like a really nice guy, of course. And you know, he starts out in a guild that just has one goddess, Hestia, so it's just her and him. But then slowly over the seasons, they've added a few more
Hestia,
members.
contact.
Yeah,
babes.
She just basically wears that little white dress
she has
and
nothing.
has a blue ribbon that holds that's her bra.
That does not make any sense at all, man.
Well, it's anime; they can get away with that.
True.
You know, you don't really have to worry about like physics.
None whatsoever,
anime.
man.
You can get away with whatever you want. But yeah, so this is just a continuation. Like, I really enjoyed season 4 because it, you know.
Yo, that was dark.
Yeah, it was really dark, but you know, it involved my favorite character, you know, Ryu.
That's the samurai girl, right? No,
it's
the fox.
The elf.
The elf.
Yeah, I do like the fox girl too, Haruhime, but no, the elf girl who works at the cafe or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so we got a whole like background of her and stuff, so it was really nice to have a thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to this next arc, which, you know, we'll see more of her, I'm sure, because it involves, we're finally starting to get to the
not the maid, but the tavern waitress.
Seer, yeah,
right.
And then why am I blanking on the name of the goddess? But she's attached to that familiar.
It's Asgardian Freya.
Freya, yeah.
Freya.
So for some reason, there's always been some weird connection with Sir and Freya and her familia, but it's never been established. So some people are like, well, maybe she's just Freya in disguise, but we have seen them together in the same scene now in this season, so they might not be the same person. But at least now we're finally going to get that
kind of
answered,
affiliation.
I think.
Some kind of affiliation.
So yeah, I mean, whatever, you know, if this show is the one that, you know, that works for you, if it's one that you enjoy, then like I do, then yeah, it's one for sure I'm looking forward to.
I really have been enjoying this show. Because last season was pretty dark, but it built character for all the characters.
All of the characters got
development
got
in
some time
to
level up and build, you know,
team,
build as a team, and and just kind of struggle to just survive those lower levels that they got stuck in.
So I really enjoyed season 4. It was great, but I think season 5 will be more lighthearted. I think
maybe
in the beginning anyway.
So we'll see. But yeah, so that's one. You know, especially I gotta admit, this season there isn't really anything that excites me too much. So I mean,
not really.
Yeah, some of these ones that I'm gonna mention they're kind of a stretch because this season is like mostly filled with sequels. So if you liked those shows to begin with, great, you got a
season for
sequel.
you.
But for me, it was like, this is the only sequel I think that of shows that I've watched. So I've got this one.
So
but then the rest is like mostly like, isekai crap.
So I'm gonna give you this right here. So since you're talking about returning shows, now I think you and I got the same show that's new this season. I want you to go ahead. It's Servant. What is it?
Oh, You Are Ms. Servant.
You Are Ms. Servant. That's the one I'm interested in because I'm gonna tell you this. This is remind me of Black Lagoon OVA, Roberta Blood Trail of this maid.
It is, but if Roberta was klutzy and kind of a little vapid or lacked common sense.
But Roberta didn't know how to cook anyway.
Right.
She sucked.
Well, that's always the joke when you
right.
get a maid that can't cook or clean.
Right. So she is an assassin. She goes to this guy's house. This is the premise, I guess. She's looking for
She's looking for work.
And she doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean, and she's a klutz. But coming from somebody who could kill people for a living, she cannot do the everyday chores of a regular person, which is weird to me, right?
Right. Well, as you start to get in that first episode, you start to get a little bit of background things with her former master. At least you don't see who he is, or she never mentions who he is, but you hear his voice sometimes, and he's always telling her, "I like that you're kind of cold-hearted. I like that you're whatever. Your only duty is to kill, etc." So she's basically kind of like a shell of a person.
Right.
She doesn't really feel things. She doesn't really know much beyond how to kill. So she's like, we don't know why she's going out as maid. We don't know why she's now no longer with her other master, and why she's looking for a new one, and really how it relates to this kid.
We're going to find out soon, later on.
Yeah, so that's what I like. It's kind of like a mystery we'll kind of fill out, but the show really is more about her finding
her place in the world.
Yeah, and how to be human.
Right,
yeah. That's what it's going to be. So it seems to straddle this kind of like, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's kind of,
it's heartwarming too.
Right, it's heartwarming and serious, and so, but yeah, it's got some good, it's got some good vibes, it's got some good, little comic moments. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So.
Right. So I got another one. Well, you said two of the ones we are watching the same thing. I guess the other one is Demon Lord 2099 that you just recently saw the trailer for.
Right, yeah, this one I had on my list, but it hasn't come out yet, so we haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it yet, so I think it's come out later this week.
I think it's October 12th.
Yeah, later this week. So, I mean, I saw the trailer of it, and I got a feel of a past show that we used to watch. As to the comparison of it all, it's a part-time theme.
It definitely
Devil.
has, Devil is a part-time vibes to it.
So you had this Demon Lord, I guess, as he got reincarnated into the year 2099 with technology the way it is and stuff like that. So he's out of place. So we kind of like those sort of things, right?
Yeah, I don't know if this one he got reincarnated or he just wakes up. Because he was sleeping, or he had been mostly dead or something.
Right.
But so he comes out as a full-grown man.
Right.
But yeah, so now he's in this cyberpunk city in the year 2099.
Right.
And obviously things have changed from when sword and sorcery and magic days. So.
Look what you woke up to.
Yeah, so he kind of has to figure out his way in this new world while still trying to dominate it and take over the world.
Always world conquest, right?
I mean, that's what Demon Lords do. That's their job.
That's their job.
It's in the job description.
They love some Demon Lords, man. Anime, don't they?
Yes,
they really do. Yeah. They really do. So Demon Lord 2099. I'd say 2099. Why gotta be 2099? Because back in the Marvel had Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man.
Maybe that's why.
Who knows? So I can't wait to watch that this week right here. So I think the one we want to talk about most of.
Well, let me talk about at least one other one that I had.
Which one?
So there's one this one was not on my list at all because it's a magical girl show.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I don't normally watch these.
You sure
things.
don't.
This one is called Acrotrip. Okay, so I was reading reviews on it online. When I was checking out the reviews for all of the shows, and a lot of people were saying this one was great and funny. So I was like, let me give it a try. So the first 2 episodes have already dropped, but basically it's about a middle school girl who's kind of never really been able to find her place or make connections because her mom moves constantly.
Right.
So she's supposed to stay with her grandfather for a week while her mom's moving to a new place and getting everything in order. But then when she's there, she discovers that there's a magical girl there. Berry Blossom, I think, is her name.
Really?
But then she's fighting this other, the evil guy named Chrome from like the Fossa Magna, like organization or whatever. But it's like, for some reason, she gets like so excited about it, and she becomes obsessed. So she finally finds something that excites her. But when you watch them fight, you realize that, they point out clearly that Chrome is a terrible villain. But Berry Blossom herself is not a very good magical girl either.
They both not good.
Yeah,
man.
she does like way too much damage to the bridge and in the
a
town.
lot of collateral damage, right?
And it's just a lame fight. And so this middle school girl is like, basically she runs into the bad guy and she basically says, "You guys suck." And so the bad guy, Chrome, tries to rope her in to like help him become a better villain so that Berry Blossom can have like more, better fights and stuff, because apparently he's like a masochist. So he likes being hit by Berry Blossom, so he's okay with getting beat down.
Wow.
But there's just like a lot of really good jokes, like when he's trying to get her to sign up to use magic because they get locked in a storage closet, because the broom kind of blocks it. But it's like he makes it like it's a cell phone pitch, like oh, my magic ran out because if I hit my limit, then I get low speed or whatever, like on my magic, so I have to like struggle with it for the rest of the month until it.
I gotta check this out.
So, but yeah, it's cute, it's funny, and it's not really about magical girls. It's kind of about this girl now joining the evil organization to kind of make the fights more interesting.
That's being selfish, man.
What?
That's selfish on her part.
Well, she doesn't want to join.
Yeah.
But the one thing that Chrome is good at is manipulating people and making them do bad things, even though he's terrible at doing bad things himself.
Wow.
And he's also got these really weird looking kind of bears that are his his henchmen.
Wow.
So they're kind of funny.
Right,
but
cool.
yeah, it was a real surprise to me. So yeah, I would say check it out. Maybe you'll like it.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna end this podcast with one show that we just recently watched.
Right. You guys, if you know anything about like anime, you're like, why haven't they mentioned this one? Well, here it comes.
Here it comes. So this past weekend, this past Thursday, this is called Dan Da Dan. I'm saying it right? Dan Da Dan?
Yeah, Dan Da Dan.
Dan Da Dan. And boy, the first episode, brother. I like the premise of it all, that this boy believes in IFO, UFOs, whatever.
Yeah, he believes in aliens and the
stuff
occult.
like that.
Yes.
Occult. But this girl right here, she believes in supernatural, the spirits and ghosts and stuff like that.
Right. Whereas he does not, and she doesn't believe in aliens.
Right. But she has a more backstory dealing with the spirits because of her grandmother.
Yes.
Right. So if y'all haven't watched it, her
grandmother was a spirit medium.
Right. So she got experience in that. So I'm telling you, dude, the first second in the damn anime, she's arguing with her boyfriend, and he's like, "I need your money." I'm like, "This bum," Yeah,
you're gonna pay for this date, right?
Yeah, right. Like she's a piece of crap anyway. Then she decides to kick him. She like kicking people, of course.
Yeah,
I see. But all in all, man, this show it's everywhere. In other words, everywhere. There's so much going on. On top of that, I think you agree with me. The intro is about Creepy Nuts. These are the same people who did Mashley.
And the Call of the Night.
Right, yeah. So they rolling.
Right.
So anyway, and all in all, man, this show has so much going on for it. It's rude, crude at the same time.
Right. It's this kind of. When I first started watching it, I was like, this is the most anticipated show for me. But when I first started watching it, I was like, I don't know, because it does have a lot of like that Studio Trigger, like
I thought about that.
LCD feeling, like kinetic animation.
But there was not the.
But also a lot of screeching.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to get used to that. But it is manic. I mean, that's like the best word I can think for this show. It's manic. So then it turns out that ghosts and aliens are real. And so, now these two kids are caught up in it, and,
I am sorry, but the spirits and the aliens are pervs.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
dome.
Yeah, the fast greenie, the fast granny or whatever her name
Turbo
is, Turbo
Granny.
Granny, wants to eat weenies. I want to eat your weenie.
Not a hot dog.
I want your weenie in my mouth.
I'm like, wow. And that threw me off. I'm like, they are really doing it. Then you got the alien talking about we are the last of our race. We need to reproduce with you. And
they want to no longer clone themselves. They want to actually reproduce. So in order to do that again.
But did you see what he pulled out?
Yeah, so he pulls out like this big metal, like ugly looking like penis contraption, and then it has a spike on the end, and you're like, no.
I'm like, dude, this is crazy, man. But we're not gonna deal with
too
much on this thing.
Too much, but yeah, but just understand that's the kind of show it is. So
Yes.
I know some people might be a little
thrown off a little bit.
that might not make them very comfortable.
But if it's your type of anime, like you said, the kinetic, like Studio Trigger kind of action, whatever, it is fast paced when they're going into that. But it's slowed down in the beginning. But when all the stuff happened, then when all it happened.
Yeah,
right?
so it's crazy, but it is enjoyable. So yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, dude. When he told him, he pulled out that thing like a sharp edge to it, man. Like this dude, I'm like, wow. Then this woman talking about she wants your weenie. What the hell, dude? And she cursed the guy.
Well, that's the end. She cursed it, and apparently she still has his weenie.
Right.
She ate his weenie, so now he needs to get it back.
Well, guys, I'm gonna tell you this. This is our pick for the fall anime 2024. There might be more that we haven't named, but I think this is what we're gonna stick with. So, that's what you're gonna stick with.
Yeah, I think that's a good a good start to the ones that we think are going to be pretty good ones this season.
I agree. I agree myself, my friend. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Subscribe and share.
Smash that like button.
And smash that like button.